Okay, so I'm going to talk about Biodiversity and Ecosystem Service Sustainability Programme, which is a programme funded by the UK Natural Environment Research Council. It's a 6-year programme. It's got 3 main themes. One's about functional relationships between biodiversity and ecosystem services. Secondly, about the resilience of these relationships. And thirdly, about developing indicators. There's the core questions. First, to define how biodiversity and landscapes underpins the delivery of ecosystem services. Asking questions such as whether increased flows are sustainable, what's the shape of the stock-flow relationships. So if we decrease the stock, how does this influence the flows? The second question is to establish whether there's any critical levels of biodiversity required to deliver different kinds of services, and relating these to different sorts of pressures. For example, pressures of food security, climate change, and demographic change. And the third question is to develop novel tools and indicators appropriate for monitoring and measuring these types of flows under different scenarios. It will be focused on multifunctional landscapes, so landscapes that deliver a range of important functions and services, landscapes that are subject to rapid change, where future drivers are likely to be greatest, and where we feel there's the most pressing need to develop the science and understand the links between biodiversity, ecosystem function, and ecosystem services. It's going to be focused in 4 landscape types. Firstly, we've got agricultural lowland type landscapes on the top right. Then on the other landscapes there's freshwater and coastal wetlands, upland landscapes, and urban and peri-urban landscapes. 13 million has been set aside to fund the research. The first projects will start in January 2012. In the first tranche of funding, we're going to be funding 3 to 4 consortium working in these main landscape types. One of the key things about BESS is that we want to try and build a community of ecosystem service type research. So we realise that these consortia are going to be led by the sort of established researchers, but in the second tranche of funding we're specifically setting aside a couple of million which we're going to prioritise to early career researchers, so that those researchers can feed in and feed off the projects that are developed, the consortia projects, and this will help to build the community and make it a bit more sustainable. Throughout the projects, just with Ian had a number of criteria that researchers had to align to. We've got a set of very more extensive criteria, including interdisciplinarity and so on. And so all the projects need to be interdisciplinary, and the directorate, which I'm part of, will be taking an integrative approach, working across the projects to pull them together and to help develop this community. We'll also be developing knowledge exchange activities within the programmes, and currently looking for opportunities for co-funding with other programmes. Just to finish off, one of the other key things that the directorate is going to do is develop outreach. And we've heard from a couple of comments previously that it's really about behavioural change if we're going to bring out any differences. I've also been involved with another big national project in the UK called the OPAL project, which is Open Air Laboratories. And we're going to be developing some of the methods we used in the Open Air Laboratories project, which is really engaging with the public, whether it's working with schools or working with communities, especially communities in deprived areas, ethnic minority groups, people who've maybe fallen out of education and so on. We've been working with those sorts of people and showing them the importance of nature. And I think maybe it's something as broad as nature as a concept that is really key to getting people to understand why biodiversity, as we talk about it, is so important in providing these services.